News with Kief Preston for March 25th, 2018. In this week's Weed News, we talk about treating skin diseases with CBD, Georgia, flying weed airplane, and more. We smoking on it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Weekly Weed News with Kief Preston. That's what's up. Today's episode is brought to you by the Kief Preston's Time-Tested Edibles Cookbook Series, available on Amazon.com and on KiefPreston.com, as well as the I Love Growing Marijuana Grow Bible that you can download for free directly from the description. So if that's something that interests you, if you like having unlimited amounts of amazing organic cannabis on deck at all times, then that might be some shit that you would want to check out. Anyway, my name is Kief Preston. I want to take this opportunity to remind everybody to do some shit to help legalize weed, because people is the shit that made weed illegal, so people got to make that shit legal again. So take action today to help legalize weed, people, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, all right, without further ado, shit. Oh yeah, wait. Let me give a shout out to, everybody at LMR Production Exclusive, Countless Racks Records, and Mr. Gohard and them, for doing all that they do to raise awareness, and motivate people to take action for the cause. All right, now, let me take a hit off this bubbling water, and let's get to this week's top stories. All right. Alrighty then. For this week's top stories, we start in the great state of Georgia, where earlier this week, the Georgia House of Representatives passed a resolution asking the U.S. Congress to finally reclassify cannabis and change its status as a Schedule I drug. That is what the fuck is up. Classifying cannabis as a Schedule I drug has enabled the feds to make studying cannabis pretty much impossible. The classification also defines, cannabis as having absolutely no medical benefits and being as dangerous as heroin. Yeah, right. The Georgia Health and Human Services Committee Chairwoman Sharon Cooper has stood up in the name of cannabis to try to do something about this ridiculous classification. Chairwoman Cooper was quoted saying that Congress needs to, quote, get off your duffs and act, unquote, and that she's really tired of not being able to know if marijuana oil really works, which diseases it does work with, which ones does it not work with, if it is effective. So I personally want to thank Chairwoman Sharon Cooper for trying to make the world a better place, And although similar reclassification requests have failed in the past, the more we keep trying, the faster it'll happen. I feel like there's a lot of congressmen and just representatives that get money from the prison lobbyists, the alcohol lobbyists, big pharma and them, and to keep the laws the way they are so that all these people won't lose hella revenue. But yeah, that's what's up. So thank you, Sharon Cooper and Georgia for standing up for trees. All right, so for the next story, we go to the University of Colorado, where American scientists have started a clinical trial to determine whether a compound found in cannabis can help sufferers of eczema and psoriasis, yo. So, cannabidiol, normally referred to as CBD, not the non-psychoactive cannabinoid found in medical marijuana strains, could offer a new way to treat skin diseases. And it is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound, and it's already been signed off on by the World Health Organization, who said that it was both safe and very beneficial. And now, Inside Science reports that a team of researchers headed by Dr. Robert Delavallee, or Delavalle, are currently conducting experiments on 40 patients with seborrheic dermatitis, and that Dr. Delavalle hopes that CBD could become an alternative treatment for people who topical steroid treatments are not working for. I can't wait to see, the official results of this study when it's published, to see, how significant the results are, how many people, that actually did work for it. But I believe in the power of cannabis. So thank you, Dr. Delavalle, for your research and for helping the world understand cannabis better. That's what's up, man. So for the next story, we go to our neighbors to the north in Canada. And this shit is fucking crazy. So, a company in Canada has successfully designed the first airplane that is not only made almost entirely out of hemp, but it actually flies using hemp oil as fuel. Yo, that's fucking nuts, yo. Anyway, Hemp Earth, as the company is called, and their CEO, Derek Keswick, value pot for a lot more than just the high. They view it as having great potential as a sustainable resource and as a building material amongst a whole group of other uses. So, basically, not only is cannabis one of the healthiest plants known to man, but it's also 10 times stronger than steel and much lighter. It's actually comparable to aluminum in weight. And it's also flexible, so it's less prone to fracturing. So it makes a fantastic material. That's why Hemp Earth, the designers, and a Florida company called Velocity Inc. Who built this crazy airplane. So Hemp Earth are the designers, and they partnered with Velocity Inc., a Florida company, who actually built it. And they were able to create a 36-foot wide, 5-passenger aircraft that is able to fly just as safely and much more efficiently than a regular airplane of comparable size. And hemp was used to make everything from the seats to the pillows on the seats and the wings and the walls of the plane. And it's important to note that growing hemp requires significantly less water than growing cotton, for example, for the seats. And that hemp also helps replenish the soil with some nutrients as it grows. And the pilot and 4 passengers actually flew in this airplane successfully in a test flight that went off without a hitch. And it's crazy to think that this technology has been around, since Henry Ford made the body of the Model T out of hemp in the early 1900s. It's been like a fucking 100 years, and we've known about this, and it's been suppressed by, William Randolph Hearst and the whole reefer madness, and it's crazy. But finally, I guess maybe thanks to the internet and giving voices to just regular people who would otherwise be suppressed by gatekeepers that are pushing an agenda, like on TV, or, where you can't just have commercials for weed, or I don't know. It's crazy to think that 100 years ago, Henry Ford was talking about how much more durable and how much lighter hemp is to make cars out of and shit. But now they made this airplane and it fucking flies, yo. That's so crazy. Let me take a hit of this bong. That's what's up, Hemp Earth. Way to think outside the box, man. Alright, so yeah. Now that we see that fucking replacing fossil fuels with hemp oil and metal and plastics, which hemp-based materials, we need to start implementing it, before it's too late for the planet Earth. I heard the Pacific garbage patch is twice the size of Texas or something now. That's fucking crazy. So thank you, Hemp Earth, for your visionary leadership and for making something so far-fetched as a weed airplane that flies on weed a reality. You guys are the shit. And I personally believe that we will soon all come to realize that cannabis and hemp actually can save the planet, and that, we're going to have like a paradigm shift as a culture on that shit. Hopefully as a planet, And it's also going to help make people a lot of money. So yeah, man, it's going to be everywhere in the near future, I think. That's what's up. Way to go, Hemp Earth, man. Yeah, we're going to give you one of these. Yeah. All right, so for the next story, we go to the American Journal of Psychiatry, who has recently published the story reporting that cannabidiol CBD is also an effective treatment for schizophrenia patients experiencing psychotic behaviors. That's crazy. No pun intended. That was fucking stupid. Okay, so there was a 6-week long study that followed 2 groups of schizophrenic patients. The control group only took their regular medication, and the other group took the regular medication and added CBD, right? And at the end of the 6 weeks, the rates of psychotic behavior were lower. The rates of psychotic behavior episodes in the CBD group were lower, significantly lower than in the control group. Now, conversely to the baseless claim that consuming marijuana will mess up your brain and your brain chemistry and lead to psychotic behaviors, which is a beloved talking point of anti-cannabis advocates, if you will. The researchers of this particular study concluded that these findings suggest that CBD has beneficial effects in patients with schizophrenia. And as CBD's effects do not depend on dopamine receptor antagonism, which apparently is how, on a chemical level, the current popular treatments, function, I guess, by antagonizing dopamine receptors. So because CBD doesn't work by doing that, this agent may represent a new class of treatment for the disorder. And that's just fantastic news for everybody. The people suffering from the disorders, first of all, and also just for the whole pro-cannabis movement in general. Because if you can silence all those people saying marijuana is going to make you go crazy, reefer madness, whoop wop, then you can, prove some shit, show them some proof from the American Journal of Psychiatry, which like fucking, psychiatrists base their knowledge on and shit a lot, right? So if we have evidence like that not only does it not make you go crazy, it actually helps people stay sane, then that is what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's really good news. So, for our next story, we go to the great state of Indiana, where Governor Eric Holcomb just signed a new bill into law legalizing low THC CBD oils for the second time. That is because about a year ago they signed a similar law for allowing people with seizures to be able to get CBD oils and such. But a few months later, the governor kind of reneged on the whole situation and ordered raids on stores that sold CBD products that were just okayed. And later on, the Attorney General in Indiana concluded that because marijuana is a Schedule I drug, no matter what, the THC content, no matter how low the THC content in the CBD oils, is still going to be illegal. And they gave all the stores in the state that were supposedly allowed to sell it 60 days to get rid of all of the CBD oils in stock. But now, Governor Holcomb says that Indiana lawmakers delivered a bill that ensures that Hoosiers who benefit from CBD oil can access it, and the new law is gonna make that available in the state. And I guess they can't be more than 3% THC. Now, the new law does not specify whether or not it's legal to produce them in the state, and that's going to cause confusion moving forward. And State Representative Matt Pierce even told the Indy Star that we're going to have to come back and fix this next year. So it's already kind of obvious that this isn't the end of debate on this topic in Indiana. So even though this is progress for the Hoosier state, I feel like the progress is minimal, especially when compared to like the open-minded states, on the more open-minded states on the coasts, on both coasts at this point. When you take a look at Vermont and Massachusetts, I know they're trying to stifle the law that they passed over there, but they're gonna make it. And then I don't know, the New York MMJ program's evolving. They've decriminalized, right? It's like a civil thing in New York now. I don't know, but they're doing better out there on the East Coast too. The whole West Coast is green now. So let's hope that this continues to evolve and eventually gives way to some real cannabis access for Indiana's population, and that the governor won't, call any more raids this time around, people. And yeah, so that's it for this week's Weed News. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you tune in next week. Subscribe, if you haven't already, hit up kiefpreston.com to take action today to help legalize weed. Just click free to weed over there and to get started. If you need help getting started, download the song, fucking download your cookbook, download your Grow Bible for free in the description. And tune in next week, man. And stay smoking. That's what's up, people. Stay up. Peace.
J'adore. Elle est maman.
Killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it. It's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it. It's that killer, we stay smoking on it. Killer, we stay smoking on it.
You smell it?
It's that killer, we stay smoking.
Probably smell that shit outside. Hey, take action today. Help legalize weed, people. Free Mr. Go Hard.
I'ma lay show how a player lace me. You ain't burning if the leaf ain't green. Show ain't drove, the shit got seeds. Fuck rolling one, we gon' smoke about 3. Don't burn by yourself, call up me. Don't be a dope fiend, pass that tree. Puff, pass, I'm in love with the leaf. Picture me rolling, all odds on me. All Chinese, I don't need Visine. DWI, I don't need ID. Smoke out a crash, no smoking for free. Blunts out of papes, yeah, they all burning me. Let's talk, more smoke, roll up the weed. California Kush, slowed up the speed. Wake up and burn, smoke till I'm sleep. Competition blunt, smoke and compete. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer, we stay smoking on it. Counterfeit flowers, you can smell the aroma. Glued on the wax, cough till I throw up. I smell ganja, go ahead and roll up. Weed ain't legal, we gon' smoke till they show up. Lightweight smoking, you in a coma. Send you G5, watch him blow up. Burn on them papes, hope they don't pull up. Pull up my car like, bitch nigga, hold up. Rather smoke out than plot on the come up. Start acting crazy like 52 pickups. Smoking on the killer, feeling like a winner. Ain't shit going on, but just cushion my swisher. Playing rotation, let everybody hit her. When she gone, bet everybody miss her. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking on it. Smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking on it. You smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking good. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking good. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking, smoking on it. You can smell it, it's that killer. We stay smoking on it. Good.
Is there anything left in that bong?